sun showers. The boats come down to the beach town, and the moth flies into the light. The beacon calls and the darkness falls, and the boat's heading for the night. We're soundly sleeping at the wheel, pretending no control. But the foreman shouts and the stars come out, and nobody wants to know. Loneliness gets long, but times of sweet surrender, we're one together, waiting for the golden dawn.
Many of you might know this one. If you know it, sing it. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 everybody, get up See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light. Everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Love you.
Morning and happy Mother's Day. It is so nice to see you all. Hi, everybody. My name is Steve Ferger, and I am your host for this morning's Sunday celebration service, coming to you from the Center for Spiritual Living in Palm Springs, California, on this beautiful, sunny morning. We've been listening to One Big Family by Gary Lynn Floyd, and we have to say that's a very appropriate song for today. It's really, really exciting to see all of you here, speaking of One Big Family. I'm a little bit overwhelmed at the moment with the excitement, frankly, but it's just great to have live people, real live people, hello real live people, back in the sanctuary. So we're currently operating at 50% capacity. Masks and social distancing and reservations are required for our in-person services. We're also continuing our hybrid approach, so hello everybody who's watching online. And when we feel comfortable, we hope that you all that are watching online will come join us here in the sanctuary for our Sunday celebration service. Oh, we have some, sorry, I was like, where are my notes here? So we've got new speakers, and we have this gorgeous new artwork and these new flowers. And it really is a new fabulous around here in the sanctuary, so we look forward to seeing you soon. On behalf of your leadership council and our senior minister, Reverend Eunice Chalfant, and all the people who've worked hard to get us back up and running and being in person here, I want to extend a very warm welcome to everyone attending our service today, and also our online viewers here in Palm Springs and around the country. Lori and Jeff in Miami, our Terry's up in Washington State. We've got Terry in Seattle and Terry Ann in Port Angeles, Ron Simpson in Colorado Springs, Stella Evans and Jenny Malloy here in Palm Springs, and I have Tony Suter on the list, but he's sitting right here in the front row. So good morning, Tony. Good morning. No matter where you are in your spiritual path or where you might be watching this morning, you are welcome here, either in person or virtually. We like to begin the service by reciting our mission and vision statement. Please follow with me. At CSLPS, we envision a world where oneness is cultivated, unity is lived, and reverence for all life is practiced, empowering us to thrive individually and collectively. And of course, we do this through the teachings of science of mind and spirit and the practice of unconditional love. So there are just a few things for you to be aware of this week. This Wednesday evening at 6:30, please join Reverend Eunice for Wisdom Shares and Sacred Practices as she hosts an evening of conscious conversation titled Holy, Holy Uprising. And you'll see the Holy, Holy Uprising up there on the screen. I'm not stuttering. It's very exciting, Batman. Join Eunice for an opportunity to share your ideas, vision, and experience of re-entering a post-pandemic world. Now that we're moving forward as a country, what have you learned that will empower you to live a more conscious and intentional life? CSLPS's theme for May is Holy, Holy Uprising, meaning this is an opportunity to rise up from settling for life as we have known it. It's an opportunity to start fresh and create the life of your dreams. What will you do differently? What is important to you? What are you looking forward to the most? And what will you change, and what will you keep the same? All these questions will fuel your own personal holy, holy uprising. That's this Wednesday at 6:30. As always, the Zoom link is on our website, cslps.org. And just another reminder that while we're back in a limited capacity, reservations are required to keep everybody safe. They are accepted on a first-come, first-served basis. Everybody here has negotiated the path, so well done. If you're over the age of 90, you have an automatic reservation every week. You youngins, you have to log in and get your own reservation. So the link is in our Tuesday newsletter that comes to everybody in email on Tuesdays. And please sign in and tell us you're going to be here, and we look forward to seeing you. Finally, a number of you have expressed interest in becoming co-creators with our center, what we used to call members. Our next orientation will take place in July, and if you're interested, please pick up one of these, which are out in the foyer, kind of by the door. They will tell you anything you need to know, and there's also an application in there. And if you are watching from far away, you can call Margie Roth in the office, and she will send you one of these. So in just a few minutes, Reverend Vince Kiefner will be our practitioner of the day, and he'll be offering today's reading and invocation. E.J. Grace Angel is holding high watch during today's service, and E.J. Grace Angel is actually doing double duty today, and she will also be host for one-on-one prayer in the upper room immediately following the service. So before we move on to today's meditation and invocation, Reverend Eunice would like to take a moment to salute the special nature of our holiday today.
Wow. Seeing in person, we are mostly of the male side of things. However, all of us have experienced being that motherly love to someone or something. It could be a four-legged child as well as a two-legged. So we're going to honor that embodiment of motherly love. We also have some wonderful mothers, grandmothers, and we have a brand new grandmother. It's maybe not brand new, but pretty. She's probably the newest to join the ranks of grandmotherhood amongst us. So anyway, I have a wonderful poem about a mother's love. And so once again, I always like to stress, and I'll stress it in my talk, motherly love knows no gender. It is a vibration, an essence. And so all of us have touched the lives of someone, I'm sure. We have been the important nurturer to someone or some being. And so I like to honor that. But we're going to do it in an order real quick here. So are there any mothers present? I think I'll do, mother, okay. Mother. Yes, please stand up. This is one of our mothers. I'm a mother. Dean. Hey, Carla. We are a little bit light on the female gender, but, I'm sure there's going to be father mothers out here, too. All right, here's a card, and I need Vanna White to help me pass these out. Would you stand up again? And Steve can be my Vanna White real quick. We have Jean. And at home, just know that you are loved and accepted and supported for exactly who you are. And if you're a mother, call the office, and I will mail you one of these beautiful poems. And I made them myself, and they put stickers on them, and they're very lovely for someone who's not an artist like Jeff. So it's my homemade, but there's a lot of love because I prayed over everyone. All right. How many grandmothers do we have present? All right, we have Carla, Patricia, and myself. Yay. And who's the brand newest of all the grandmothers? I think it's Patricia. Didn't you have a grandbaby this? Great-grand. Well, you're too young for a great-grand. Oh my God, you must have been 4 years old when you had your daughter, and then so forth. Well, congratulations. Wow, that is awesome. So I'm a grandmother as well, so we have all honored them. All right, how many of us are father mothers who have really touched the lives of another two-legged? Let's put it that way first. You have been the primary person that really has helped someone in your life. Please stand up and let us honor you, and they can have a card too. Yeah, Steve. Yeah. I know my late husband was the single parent that raised his 3 children all alone for most of their lives. So he was both father and mother to them and did a fantastic job. So once again, motherhood knows no gender. It's for others. Okay, and now who among us has been a mother to a 4-legged, or could be more, 6-legged? Okay, stand up. Let's acknowledge you. Because we have we have Cord's mother, father there, and Patricia, and Reverend George and Reverend Ed's with us today. Yay, from Boston. Woohoo. And so go ahead and pass them out. And okay. Yeah. All right. And Reverend Vince, you aren't you a father mother to Tilly?
Depends on my mood.
Oh, okay. It depends on Tilly if she's behaved herself. So let's just give an acknowledgement. Yay. And we're going to talk more about motherly love coming right up. So thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Eunice. So before we have today's reading and invocation, why don't we all just take a moment to settle, get comfortable, get your feet on the floor. We can all take one big, deep, collective breath, breathing in the love that is always flowing in, through, and around us. Allow yourself to feel calm, get centered, and let the music take us all just a bit deeper.
Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. Open wide my open wide my heart. 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 Open wide my
Open wide my heart. Open wide my heart. My
Good morning. It's so good to see you. It's been a while. I've missed you. My gosh, where have you been? So, in following along the theme of love, the mother-father love, and I am a mother-father to Tilly. She is, but David does all the work, so I couldn't stand up and claim it. But this comes from Dr. Ernest Holmes' textbook, and I really like what he has to say about love. The first paragraph or the first part will be on how he saw love, and then the second part is how to take this wonderful quality, this gift, this aspiration, and turn it into action. So this is from Dr. Ernest Holmes. Love is the self-givingness of the spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Emerson tells us that love is a synonym for God. Since God is love and God is all in all, love must be the underlying principle of life, and therefore in all. This is my life. This love is me. It is the very essence of my being. Love heals everything, every perfection of the mind, body, or the environment. And the second part of this is how. And he tells us how. Now we can mentally affirm and send reminders to our mind that our true nature is love. This is a possible choice, but not one that maintains a permanent foothold in our consciousness. We have to go deeper and deeper and deeper. There is no limit to divine love because there is no limit to God, the author of love. A deeper practice towards loving is to take the thought of love, to commingle in our consciousness in its energy, to baptize ourselves, to drown ourselves in its healing waters. Work it, with it, and from it, with every experience you have known. Then go deeper still into the uncharted territories of love. This is what it means to understand the invisible, which is more real, the invisible being more real than the visible. To ever expand your consciousness is to do this. It has a tangible effect. Let's take a couple minutes to reflect on these beautiful words before we move into our service. Okay, as we come back together, we know, and I will do a treatment, a spiritual mind treatment, is the speaking of the word of truth that we accept consciously and subconsciously and express in our life. And these are the words I'd like to use to move love from an idea or a thought into action in our lives. To have a more loving life is to have a better life. And this is what I choose to know. I know truly there is only one God, one mind, one law, one perfection, expressing in all, through all, as all, because it is all. Thus, if God is love and love is God, then love is the truth of all. Thus, I claim and affirm that love is alive, awake, and aware in my consciousness, that I express God, the divine arranger of all life, right here and right now. Every time I have a loving thought, a loving action, each step I take, each movement I make, each sight I see, and each sound I hear is seeking love. It's present. There's nothing to do, just something to know. And what I know is that God is love. I express God, thus I am love, expressing as God on this plane of action. I deny the power of anything that could limit this. It doesn't exist. It's a shadow, a lie. What is the truth is that God is love, and I'm all about God, expressing God here and now, in the here and now, here and now. And for this I give great thanks, knowing this gift that I was given at the time I took my first breath was to draw into my body the healing action and knowing of love. And on this special day where we honor the person that held us, most likely, taking our first breath, we honor that mother love in us, through us, and as us, and it never dies. We are forever. And this goes with us to the great beyond. And for this I give thanks, knowing that I even had the chance to know these thoughts, to know these truths, and to accept them for myself in my life. I am so grateful for that. And most importantly, now I release it into the law of mind, which completes it before it starts it. I am complete. Nothing is missing. The gift is given. We are love. And I let this be so, because I know it's so, because with God it simply must be so. And together we say, and so it is.
And I will follow. Leave, and I will wait. Seek, and you will find me here. Hurt, and I will heal you. Laugh, and I will smile, cry, and I will hold you all the while. I am the sun upon your back. I am the waves that kiss your feet. Is sorrow for the things you lack. Oh, open your arms. I will fall from the sky. I am love. When the dark overtakes you and hope is lost to fear, be silent and be still, and you will find me near, forgiving when you're failing, patient as you learn, and when this life is through, embracing your return. So let it go and let it be. When you fall, you'll follow into me. This secret that you've kept can set you free. Just whisper the words that your heart always knew. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Take a big breath. That was luscious. Are we not blessed by Jeff? That's original. Oh my gosh, Jeff, thank you. Oh, I love his music. Ooh. Good morning, beloveds. It is so good to see you. You are divine, powerful, joyous beings of light and love, and it is that consciousness that I welcome everyone into today, both here in person and in the ethers. It's so good just to recognize that we are always together. We can never be separate from the love of God. Therefore, we can't be separate from the love of each other. We are that love incarnate. And so this whole month, we're talking about holy with a W, meaning whole, complete. Holy, holy, meaning sacred. Uprising. We are called to rise up and to declare this truth that we are whole, perfect, and complete. Nothing's lacking. That we are here to love one another, to remind each other, to stand up and celebrate. That's what we are discovering deeper, deeper, and deeper yet in our lives, both individually and together as a community. So this community is really known by how well we love one another. That's really what it's about. How do we demonstrate that love? How are we here for each other? So today, the topic, which wasn't my topic because I'm using this month the CSL suggested topics, and I love them this month. But the topic for today is revolutionary love. And isn't that a perfect topic for this day where we celebrate that essence of motherly love? And it is an essence for sure. In the opening reading, it was so gorgeously read by Reverend Vince. Ernest Holmes says that love is a synonym for God. For God is love, and love is God, and love is all there is, because God is all there is, and love is infinite. So love is another way of saying God. And I always like to stop and reiterate exactly what I said in our honoring ceremony we did previously, is that motherly love is the highest form of love, because it's like divine love, and it knows no gender. That's why I like to honor those who are the motherly energy to someone or some beautiful being that really is here to give and to serve and to uplift and to protect and to, just support in every way, shape, and form. That is demonstrating that divine quality. We're showing up as God's heart and hands in that moment. And so I came across this passage that talks about the motherly love, and it's written by author Evan Hodgkins. And this is what Evan says: the quality of God that gives of itself, nurtures life, and holds everything together is pure love, unconditional love. And the model we have been given for this way of loving and living is motherhood. The only thing that gives us a chance to love as God loves is the fact that the feminine is within us, all of us, not just the feminine aspect of the us It's within all of us. This is the magic of motherhood, of Divine Mother. A mother's love is so complete, so nourishing. It can only be God loving through them. Don't you just love that? So when we breathe that essence in, we think of that energetic. I know when I think about my upbringing, and I was blessed by parents who really loved me, and it took a while, like 9 months and 4 hours to be specific, before I made the scene after they got married. Whew. I know my mom was probably sweating it. She often says that. She thinks I was early, but I went, yeah. But anyway, I have always known that no matter what I did, that I would always be loved and accepted by my parents, no matter what. And that really came in handy years later when I had been married 4 times. And in my generation, that meant you were irresponsible, perhaps. It just meant that I hadn't learned what I had to learn through that vehicle called marriage. But I've learned it. That's why I'm not married. Enough of that. But this whole idea of the motherly essence of love is what really nurtures, sustains, and maintains life in all of its fullness. And I remember in my last marriage, which was the love of my life, Robert Chalfont. Gosh, we met while doing camps. We were both co-directors of the Youth of Religious Science camps for 10 years. We only were blessed to be married for 3 of those 10 before he passed on. But I remember in our home, the motherly image was carried by Robert. I was so busy climbing the corporate ladder, and I couldn't bother with making the home real pretty, and he was good he had a better artistic eye than I, and he was always nurturing. We never knew who was going to be sleeping on the couch downstairs when we got up in the morning, because kids used to run away from their home to our house. Because of Robert's capacity to just be fully present and to hear and listen to them and to love them and to support them and to encourage them to find a solution. And I remember one time at camp, there's this young black preteen, actually. He was really young. He was maybe 13 or 11. And he was sitting with Robert on the stone fence. And this was up in Buckhorn and in Idlewild, near here. And I remember that Robert was sitting there crying with this young kid because his grandmother, who was raising him, had just dropped him off at the dock or at the bus depot to bring him to catch the bus to come to camp. And I remember him crying because he had just lost his older brother through gang violence. And Robert was sitting there and cried with him. And it was so healing because it was the first time he let down his guard and cried and grieved. He was trying to be the tough kid, and keep it all together. But he wasn't able to move beyond it because he hadn't grieved. And so that nurturing, loving energy knows no gender. It's not dependent on the feminine gender, but on the feminine aspect, the nurturing, the supporting, the loving, the caring, the protecting, all that motherhood represents. If we transcend and rise above the humanhood, the personal, individual expression of love, we see that love really is a universal principle because it is a state of being, a quality of being. It is a vibration. It is something that is omnipresent everywhere. And so it contains within it the unifying energy and the creative impulse, that urge to give of oneself, to give forth a new possibility, a new idea, a new awareness even. It's that energy to extend beyond oneself and to give of oneself and to inspire and uplift. Ernest Holmes has two great quotes that talk about this. The first one, he says, God is an inward, intimate presence, closer to us than our very breath. God is love. God is wisdom. God's wisdom is always within us, and God's joy is ours to share. And later on, he says, God is love, but God is also infinite intelligence. And unless these two qualities are balanced in our lives, we do not get wisdom, for wisdom is the perfect blending of intelligence and love. Isn't that powerful? I always had this mistaken notion that Ernest Holmes was so enamored about the law of mind and action, the law of attraction and all those different laws, the mental side, that he never had much to say about love. Oh my God, there are 9 pages of quotes, and that's just scratching the surface of what he says about love. He really could express the essence of pure love. So this love that I'm talking about here, divine love, that transcends situation or circumstance, is omnipresent, meaning in everywhere present, in every spot God's love is. It is also omniactive. It's always expressing, always giving of itself throughout all of creation. A flower shines forth its love by being its tulipanness, or a bee shines forth its love by fluttering and buzzing and pollinating. Those are expressions of the love of God. So it's important to get a sense of it that transcends concepts or thoughts or ideas. For example, right now, what I want you to do is I want you to just kind of uncross your knees, and if you can, with your masks on, it's kind of hard because they distort it, but see if you can start to include the peripheral vision, above, below, on all sides, and see the spaciousness of this place. And notice that all the space is not empty. It is vibrant and pulsating with divine love, because if love is omnipresent in every spot and every moment, and love just is, it is everywhere. Even though we kind of want to focus on specific expressions over here, we forget that the essence of love is a field. It's a vibration. We live in it, just like a fish swims within the water. Can you get a sense of the spaciousness of love? It is everywhere. So here's a question for us to ponder. If love is omnipresent and omniactive, and the only reality there is, then why do I focus on a specific, especially this last year? Here's this omnipresent, omniactive love, right? That's everywhere. It's the sea in which we swim. And yet, I can turn on the TV and see a character that is from the other side, or whatever you want to call it, and I start to focus on that person and what they said and how absurd it is and blah, 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 right? Doesn't matter which side I'm on. We all do it. We focus on the person or the situation that does not resemble divine love. We get caught up in that. We focus on it. We fill our consciousness with it. All the while, there's this infinite isness of divine love that is permeating everything that is, and we're oblivious. Here is a metaphor that came out of one of the daily guides this month. I don't know, but I love Dr. Edward Vione. He was one of my fellow classmates when we went through the school of ministry together. And I just love Edward. He is just powerful. No, it wasn't. This is by Christian Sorensen. Excuse me. Christian was raised in religious science from birth. His parents were a minister and a practitioner, believe it or not. He was generationally supported with Science of Mind. This comes from Christian. I also know him, but we didn't go to school. He precedes me, even though I'm older. This is one of his analogies in this month. And you know, this whole month has been so good. If you're not buying the Science of Mind magazine, you're missing a great opportunity. I'll tell you. I've been in this teaching for almost 30 years, or probably more than 30 years now. The 70s. It's probably almost 50 years. Oh my God. I'm getting up there, aren't I? Well, anyway, the Science of Mind has always been I've taken that magazine for probably most of those 50 years. I love that magazine, the Daily Guides. So here's from one of them a couple of days ago. Dr. Christian says this: a teacher passed out a writing exercise to her students. It consisted of only a black dot in the center of a piece of white paper. She then asked the students to write a few sentences to describe what they saw. Once everyone was finished, the professor collected the pages and started reading the writings to the class. They all wrote about the black dot, its size, its position on the page. Some got creative, writing about it being a portal to the universe. Regardless, all comments were about the black dot. What was interesting is that no one wrote about the white part of the paper, that which underlines the whole, that which contains all black dots. Do you get the analogy I'm using here? Don't we do that? We look and focus on something that appears in opposition to the love that we are swimming in, and we are so oblivious that the infinite love is omnipresent, and yet this person is not behaving the way I think they should. Why is that? Now, if we're even going to do the flip side of that, here's the flip side in the positive sense that we do that. Here's this infinite ocean of love that we're swimming in, right? And yet we say, I can only be loved by that person in my relationship. And if they go away, oh my God, love goes away. And we just think we're going to die without that person loving me. I'm using jazz as, I'm not trying to break up your marriage here, but, you know. Oh, okay. I knew we had something in common. The best is yet, right, yes. Amen. But see, what we do is we confuse the vehicle of delivery, the person in this case, with the essence. We get captivated, enchanted, consumed, obsessed with the vehicle that delivers the love, and we're oblivious, where this entire sea is going, hey, I'm here, I'm love. And we go, no, I can't pay attention to that. I have to look at that one person because they're my source of love. Does this make sense? We all do it, either positively or negatively. We are oblivious to love. So, or we think romantic love is more important than divine love. They're both aspects of love. They're both expressions of love. You know, with this thing about forgetting that the delivery person is just the vehicle of this wonderful vibration and energy, there's another analogy and another daily guide that Christian used, which I love it. He was talking about the Lawrence of Arabia. You know who I'm talking about? He fought in these battles, and he organized the desert dwellers, and they won this battle, and he wanted to give them a reward for working with him and fighting alongside him. So he brought a group back to, who really made a difference. He brought them back to England with him. And he wanted to impress them and say thank you and reward them in some way. And so he said, pick out whatever you want for you to take back to England. And so they brought him up to their hotel room, into the bathroom, and they said, I want one of these, the faucet. They lived in the desert, away from all water sources. They wanted a faucet, so they would always have water, right? That's what I'm talking about. We confuse the vehicle of delivery with the pure, rich essence of love itself. And that's what we are really hungering for. We literally are faucets for God. Let's focus on the love, not on the faucet. So motherly love is like revolutionary love because it means for us to want the highest and best and the greatest support for everyone. When we see that as the ultimate, and it doesn't matter if they agree with me or not agree with me. It doesn't matter if they're a Hitler or a Jesus the Christ. If we want the best for that unique expression of God, then we are really being revolutionary in our desire. We are having a new possibility. Remember when I said love is the creative impulse of the universe, the urge to give forth of a new creation, a new possibility, a new idea? When we are resonating with that highest expression of divine love, then we get those downloads of new possibilities, new ways of creating. That's why visioning works so powerfully. Y'all want to start coming to the monthly visionings because there's also a question, what is God's vision for my life? And they're the first Wednesday of every month. And oh my gosh, what has been being downloaded has been so stunning. It's been awesome. But see, that's when we're in that flow. Because of divine love, we are open and receptive to new possibilities. This is what Marianne Williamson says about possibilities. She says this, from a mind filled with infinite love comes the power to create infinite possibilities. We have the power to think in ways that reflect and attract all the love in the world. Such thinking is called enlightenment. Because when we focus on that, we are lifted. When we're lifted, we are lighter. We are enlightened. We are filled with the light of love. So we can imagine in our teaching a world that works for all because we have visioned it. We have extended this love to all people, all creations, our environment, everything. That is the vision for our denomination, CSL, a world that works for all. Can we focus on that? Because that is how we bring love into the picture. In our teachings, and especially here in Palm Springs, CSL Palm Springs, we emphasize oneness and unity. In fact, our vision statement that you all recited this morning has 3 affirmations, 3 intentions. Oneness is cultivated, unity is lived, and a reverence for all life is practiced. Every time we say those 3 statements, it brings me into a deeper sense of revolutionary love, motherly love, because I want the best for all. I want all to succeed. I want all to be happy. I want all to prosper. That's what it means. So revolution, when I use that word, it's interchangeable with this kind of motherly love. Unconditional love is another way of saying it. Just selfless love. A love that wants the best for all, whatever that is. So the word revolutionary describes that, because for us to love unselfishly, for us to love unconditionally, for us to love without any expectation of return, like a mother would, is really revolutionary, isn't it? And the definition for revolutionary is this revolutionary change invites us into a way of being with each other in community. It's a way of being because we're thinking in a fundamentally different way. We are thinking and acting and being fundamentally different. And when we do that, we are being revolutionists. So this talk is a call for all of us to step into being a divine expression of revolutionary love or motherly love. And it's really about living the principles of our teaching in a very intentional way in order for all people to win, in order for everyone to succeed. Why can't we hold that as the highest possibility? Yes? That's what we are about. And so it becomes then very important to really think about being a part of the solution, showing up, volunteering, not just in our center here, but in our entire big community. There are so many different places we could volunteer and outreach into the community, be a presence of revolutionary love. This is what we're charged to do, not to think and agree with these concepts and dogmatize them and have these intellectual discussions and all the while go around and focus on what's not working and the ain't it awfuls, but really being the embodiment of our teaching, living the principles, living love, being such a presence of motherly love, revolutionary love, that just by virtue of us showing up, we make such a difference in lives. Just by our nature, our presence. This is what we're called to do. And because life is infinite and God is infinite, we're always growing and unfolding into our greatest yet to be. We never arrive. We're always evolving our consciousness. We're always becoming more and more and more capable of being that loving presence. Like Ernest Holmes said in the opening reading, to do this, to practice this, requires us to go deeper and deeper and deeper even still. And so that's what I am reminding myself today. And I don't want to be the only one working that deeply on my consciousness. I want y'all to do it with me. Because I know if we do this in community, we just by the virtue of being a center will make such a difference in Palm Springs and in Coachella Valley and in Riverside County and in the state of California and in our country. We will be a living model of what it means to really be in community. We can't do this alone. This is not an independent, solitary journey. For us to truly be a vessel for love, we need to be in relationship. That's another quality of revolutionary love. It can only be experienced in relationship. And when we experience our oneness and our unity, then we can deepen that further by being that place of love. Love allows us to really express the oneness and the unity of all creation. And the oneness and unity allows us to risk being a revolutionist in love. So they go hand in hand. Yes? Okay, breathe this in. Let us embody these truths so they're not just nice little words, but we capture the vibration, the essence, the isness. Let us pray. Father, Mother, God, Infinite Spirit, Lord God Almighty, I'm so grateful for this moment to simply be aware, awake, aware that all there is God, that I live and move and have my beingness in this infinite sea of love, of revolutionary love, of motherly love, of the vibration, the essence, the isness, a pure spirit. For God is love, and love is God, and love is all there is. So it is right here, around me. It is within me. It is below me. It's above me. It is all that there is. Love and only love. God and only God. I'm so grateful for this awareness. I'm grateful for the opportunity to live at this moment in time. For I have been created for such a time as this. To live love, to be the heart and hands of pure spirits, loving all into wholeness, health, vitality, energy, wealth, the all good. And what I know about myself, I know for each one of us here present, for all beings everywhere. That being we have been created in the image and likeness and out of the very essence of pure spirit. God's qualities, God's revolutionary love is incarnated in us. It is the truth of our being, and we go forth boldly, being a representation of that very love. So I bless all of us on our journey of awakening, on our journey of unfolding, of our moment of holy, holy uprising. I bless us all. And I take this moment to especially bless our beloved country and know that this divine idea of living in peace, living in health, living in safety, living in joy and in abundance and in the all good of God, this truth is here, present. It now outpictures as every person's experience. So I know that the way and the means for us to eradicate the virus is at hand, for all of us to rise up and to co-create a country that works for all and a world that works for all. So I bless all who have been a part of this journey. I know that we are journeying wisely and in joy and in love and in peace. So knowing that this is the only truth there is, I can now release this living word into the universal creative medium, which is the mind of God in action that simply acts upon this word and brings forth wonderful demonstrations, wonderful opportunities of being love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And together we declare it so by affirming, and so it is. Amen, amen. All right. So here's my, what? The baskets magically appeared. I love it. This is our time for conscious intentional giving. This is where we get to experience the law of circulation flowing in us, through us, and from us, in ever-increasing circulation of God's goodness and God's abundance. So what's important about this ritual is not the amount you give. It is being intentional, that you are the heart and hands of God's givingness in the universe. And so we want to imbue that which we are about to give. And if you are virtual, this is an opportunity. And if you're local here too, you can text to give by texting 760-389-1333. Or you can mail your check into the office. But want to do this conscious act in this moment by giving forth that experience of gratitude. We have made it this far. We've come back together in person, and it's only going to get better than this, right? Yes. So we're grateful for that. We're grateful for all the gifts and the gifts of health and wholeness. grateful for it all. So we imbue that gratitude into that which we're about to give, knowing that it now comes back to us tenfold, because that's the law of tenfold return. We can never outgive God. We don't give to get. We give because we are generous beings and generative beings. We give because it's our nature to give. So let us say together, and I just realized that we don't have our affirmations for Jeff to project. Does anybody remember? Divine love in me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. Woohoo! So it is. All right. Hey, I remembered it after a year and so many months. Bringing Steve back up for our closing. Yay. Oh, yeah, good thing, because he does give Tilly lots of love. Huge dog. Yeah, he's check out Vince's YouTube videos with he and Tilly. Uh-huh.
So I just want to say a personal note here. I've been so eager for everyone to be back in person. And when we got started today, I have to tell you, when you first open up to a room full of people that are masked, I'm not a surgeon, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a flight attendant, and it's kind of a Twilight Zone moment, I have to say. So I just want to tell everybody that might have been the dot in the paper, but the emotion and the feeling in this room really opened me up, and thank you. Got me through here. So thank you all so much, and it's great having you back. And I'll be ready. So don't be intimidated if that mask idea at home is a little too Twilight Zone for you. It's still great to be here. Okay, so thank you, Reverend Eunice. And thank for everybody that was here today, of course. And you can join EJ, a Grace Angel, for private prayer for healing and revealing your highest good in the upper room immediately following the service today.
Also, we can offer prayer because we have enough practitioners and ministers. If you want a prayer in person today, let me know. We'll spread out.
I love it. See what happens when we get together in person? A little
Yay.
spontaneity. And also, please remember to make a reservation if you would like to join us in person. The reservation link is on the weekly newsletter, which comes out on Tuesday. So we'd like to end the service today with our closing affirmation. And I invite you to read along with me. I am home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I live in the consciousness of peace. I can never be separate from my source. I am living love. Hallelujah. Amen. Woohoo. All right. And we will leave you today with Amy Bishop singing Love. So from all of us here at the center to all of you at home, we see you, we honor you, and we hope you'll all be joining us here very soon. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Mm-hmm.
It's the cry of a baby, the whisper in prayer, it's voices and laughter. It's the wind in the stillness and the spaces between. It's a spark of fire. It's a seed, a flower, there's no wedding